punch Josh in the foot with the ball game.
Y'all. Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of True Talk.
Punch Josh Trailer House.
I've been drinking whiskey tonight. Lost my job, can't pay the light. In the morning I'll be alright. 'Cause I've been drinking whiskey all night. I said,
Corey,
Bad.
fuck this up for us.
I'm gonna punch Josh in the face on camera one day. All right, quiet.
Everybody wants to beat up their dad.
All right, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of True Tall Tales and Whiskey. Tonight we got Mr. Canaan Bryce on set. Canaan, where are you from, and what the hell are you doing all the way out here with us?
Man, Waxahachie, Texas, born and raised, still there now. I don't know if I ever leave, man. It's a beautiful town.
Somehow we became friends about a year ago, and now you're here.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. That the music scene, you think it's so big, and then you realize it's really not that big. Everybody knows everybody around here,
Right.
and yeah, just lucky to be here, dude.
Hell yeah. So you're starting the music. You didn't even play music growing up or anything like that, right?
No, man, I started my second year of college.
Yeah, why'd you start?
It's kind of weird because my first year I had my girlfriend, and then she left to go to Sam Houston, and the second year we weren't together, and I thought this girl was coming up and hitting on me, and she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?" She's like, "I'm doing good," and she was just like, "You want to join choir? We need people, and we got free scholarships." And I was like, "Oh, all right, yeah, no, I'll join."
Never sang before? Nothing?
Never picked up an instrument. And it was super awkward. And I going to like an interview with the coach, and he made me do this like do re mi fa sol la ti do thing, and he was like, "You're pretty decent. We'll teach you up a little bit." And then I did a whole semester of choir, and still got the free scholarship too.
Hell yeah.
Cool. And just kind of rolled with it, and then everybody kind of made fun of me because directly after the choir thing, I got on YouTube and started playing guitar and learning guitar from YouTube. And
Those videos still up?
hope not.
Oh,
But-
we can do some digging.
But we started doing the YouTube thing, and I started posting like me singing like Texas country, and all the girls and guys in choir started making fun of me, and I was like, "Man, fuck you guys. I'll go play country music for a living."
So I have to ask, what was the first song that was like, I can do this?
Honestly, my friends are super, super nice to me. I will say that. Like, if you ever start music and your friends are gassing you up, don't trust them. They're like, "Hell yeah, man, we love a guitar and a guy that can sit on tailgate around a bonfire." But man, that my friends were good to me. They really were.
They fed your delusions.
Yeah, for sure. We actually spent money. I asked my mom for some money because it was like coming up on Valentine's Day, and I was going to see my ex-girlfriend at Sam Houston, and I had bought like a teddy bear and some flowers and a card and shit, and surprised her a day early, and got there, and I definitely shouldn't have gone. And took my ass back, and on the way home, man, I had just like I drove home without the radio, and I was just like building this song, and I wasn't like really trying to do music at that time, and
The situation was just like, I'm writing a song.
You were just trying to rhyme and be mad at the same time.
and it happened. and man, when I got back, the first time I really picked up guitar and started songwriting, I texted my roommate because he was a drum major at TVCC in Athens, and he was taking a guitar class, and he had this badass black Takamine that his dad gave him so he could do the class. And I texted him. He was gone for the weekend. I texted him. I was like, "Hey, dude, you mind if I play your dad's guitar? And he was like, just don't fucking break it, please. And wrote my first song that night, posted it, and everybody was like, oh shit, fucking can't play the guitar and sings.
What song was it?
It's not a good one.
No, what song was it? What was it called?
Dude, it was, I can't even remember the name of it, but it was literally like, fuck you, drank a beer on a back road. Like, it was fucking horrible. It was really, really bad. And hopefully it never resurfaces on Facebook ever again.
That's how everybody kind of kicks it off, though, right? I mean, everybody, if they're being honest, when you say, when did you start music? After a breakup.
And dude, it has to. It's unless you just grow up in music, it has to be just pretty women breaking your heart and ruining your life.
Yeah. There's an American
Fuck
Aquarium
this, I'll be a
song
musician.
like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I know
Hope
exactly
He
what
Breaks
song-
Your Heart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
And BJ Barham was like, I never meant for that to go anywhere except for that stage and to those people. And then it
Absolutely.
just blew up.
And it happens like that, and that I think that's the beauty. And so whenever I did it, I didn't realize it saved my life, but dude, it's music has proved itself time and time again to just pull me out of the darkest spots I've ever put myself in. You know,
Dude, that's been a conversation that's been brought up multiple times when we've had interviews. Is like, shit sucked, and like this saved me.
dude, there's been a few times I thought about not doing music. You know, just doing the regular life thing, and it's like, man, music saved my life a few handfuls of times, and there's no telling how many times it saved somebody else's life. So it's like, I think I'm gonna keep doing it until I really, really can't.
Hell yeah. So I mean, you got that start that way, and now I mean, you doing pretty cool shit.
So you just played a show last week with Mr. Braden Stewart opening.
That's my boy, man. Well, it's y'all's boy that y'all introduced me to Braden, man.
But almost a year ago
Yeah.
at that crawfish bowl at Sweetwater.
And it was kind of crazy because he was supposed to open up, I think. Or
Yeah.
No, he did open up.
He did open up, and you were like, no, keep that motherfucker on stage. We song swapping the rest of the night.
I was like, set up another microphone, give him a guitar chord. I was like, we ain't doing that shit. And you know, I really can't say I did that myself. A long time ago, there was a crawfish boil, and I think it was Weatherford maybe, at the Thirsty Horse Saloon. I think that's what it is.
All right.
And I was supposed to open up acoustic for Red Shahan.
No shit.
And I was a super big Red Shahan fan.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that humbly because he's a badass.
Yeah, he's
He just opened up for Cole in Vegas.
he's such an underrated artist.
So
songwriter.
underrated. Saddest shit sometimes too.
And cowboy, dude. He's a cowboy through and through. And it was kind of funny because we were having problems with the sound situation. He walks up and I'm like, oh shit, I've never seen Red Shahan in person. I thought he was like a regular sized dude. No, Red Shahan's like 6'5". Like he is a massive human.
You're a big dude too.
I'm a big dude. I was looking up to him and I was like, yeah, dude, we'll figure the sound situation out. And he was like, so what's going on? And I was like, I'm just going to play until you're ready. And I was like, you can just kick me off whenever. And he was like, you know, song swap? And I was like, I guess I'll check my schedule, you know?
You had nothing.
And dude, and I got for like an hour and a half, me and Red Shahan song swapped, and it was the coolest shit I've ever done in my life.
And then you recreated that. That's badass.
Yeah, and you know, it's cool for you know, for Red just being a cool guy, like it kind of showed me the way of like
Not being a dickhead.
not being a dickhead and just like doing it naturally. And I saw Braden, I think I caught his like last few songs, and I was like,
Yeah, because you were late. You texted me you were late in traffic.
yeah, I was really late.
Like very late.
I'm always late. If you want me to be somewhere, you better tell me 30 minutes early.
That's pretty cool though, because in that transition, you saw Braden kind of he's making the move pretty fast,
He is.
and at that point he wasn't just
Dude, that was like 6 months
Like-
after I first heard him. He wasn't
Yeah.
really doing anything, and then
And-
I was like, I got you opening for Canaan Bryce. He's like,
and then,
no
and
shit.
and then now to see him open for you now. So I watched him when he opened up for Don Lewis a few weeks ago at same place, Silver Saloon. Shout out to them, one of the best venues around here, definitely to put on
Absolutely.
any shows. But to see him, you know, progress like that had to be cool, especially revisiting that moment. So
Absolutely.
The fact that made his day that you were like, just song swap with me. He was like, no way.
Dude, I
No way.
remember.
And
I
now he's
remember
doing.
He was so ecstatic. I remember he was like, dude,
Dude,
he just asked me to go play up on stage right now.
y'all think it's great, dude. I regretted it immediately because we got
Hey, when I saw him for Don Lewis, I was immediately like, Don's my boy, and I love Don. Shout out, and he put on a hell of a show. But I was like, that's a hard act to follow. Like, I would have hated walking on
good.
that stage after this kid.
that's what you want in your openers, man.
Yeah,
For sure.
You want the opener to push the headliner always.
For sure.
But I'll tell you what, man, when we sat together and that son of a bitch started singing some originals, damn. I was like, fuck. Maybe you should have headlined. I don't know.
That's why, though,
really.
it's so cool to see him getting the opportunities he's getting out. Because even back then, man, like, Braden was ready. You know, he was
ready.
He's like, I just need the opportunity. I just need to, he's real hungry. So, man, it's a beautiful thing to see
And-
Braden on the ticket with Canaan Bryce. It's just like, man,
And
proud homies. You know
it's
what I mean?
cool, man. And I've already told Corey that, man, if we ever go any further than what we are now, dude, Braden's definitely running with us wherever
Hell
we go.
Fucking Braden watches all of our podcasts, so I know we swell his head up because we talk
So-
about it almost every episode.
Yeah, so we got to keep
But-
this kid's head
Braden
pretty
earned
small.
it, man. That I mean, and regardless of who's behind him or who's his friend, dude, the kid has the songwriting, he has the voice, he's twice the guitar player I'll ever be, and dude, he has it going.
Yo lead guitarist is a fucking animal.
Dude, Shane's a bad son of a bitch, man.
We were right after y'all was done with the show on Friday. I went backstage with y'all, and Kelsey was up. She was asking somebody else to take a picture and like helping with the phone. I was like, "Fuck that!" I sat down next to him, and Kelsey ended up taking pictures of me and him because I was fucking.
Dude, Shane's
He's badass.
Shane's my dog, dude. He's played for some really cool people. He's played in front of some really cool people. And I'm really lucky to have him on the Canaan Bryce train. And
Y'all's whole band is fucking badass.
man,
Go on, shout him out.
yeah, dude, I shout out Connor on the drums, Chris on bass, Shane on the, and it's not even just Shane, it's the Shane. He's kind of hood, a little hood, a little country. But yeah, man, Shane on the lead guitar, and we got my boy Tanner tour managing every now and then, which is really cool.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah, y'all fucking killed it.
thank you, man, thank you.
So on the flip side of that Braden conversation, what about when you're on the other side? Because as established as you are, you got to be excited to open up for certain people. I know you got some shows coming up forward and some people you're looking forward to playing with. Like,
Some of it's top secret.
well, and I'm not asking you to break out any top secret info until these cameras go off. But what are you looking forward to, man?
I'll tell it on the True Tall Tales whiskey.
Because it could be a tall tale.
You're like the first person to ever
it could
get
be a
that
tall
right.
tale.
So the end of this month, me and Pecos are boys. So at the end of this month, we're going to Arkansas to play with him at Rick's in Starkville, which is, we've been running with Pecos for a while, and that's my boy, and it's always good to see family on the road and have a good time. The month after that, we're going to Huntsville to the legendary Jolly Fox, and we're opening up for Gavin Adcock, which is really cool.
Hell yeah.
I've been seeing him all over TikTok, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if he can really outdrink me or not.
Oh, you did text me and invite me to that show too.
Yeah.
Me and
I
Josiah.
was like, y'all gonna have to come see this marathon we're about to run.
Speaking of Pecos and you being boys, how did that friendship come about? Because I know there's a lot to talk about with that.
And at one point, you almost recorded a very popular song.
yeah, man. Me and Pecos, I met Pecos through Twitter, through a friend of ours. Whenever I was like kind of doing like acoustic shows and open up for a lot of people, and I hit Pecos. I heard my friend showed me this damn song on Twitter, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I don't know if he plans on putting that out, but the people have to have this, period. Like I don't care who fucking puts this song out, but the world needs to hear these words.
The world has heard that song.
Absolutely. And so I hit him up either that night or maybe the next day, and I was like, hey dude, and we got to know each other. It wasn't that night. We got to know each other, and I finally hit him up and was like, hey dude, you ever gonna put that song out? And he was still in the military at the time, and he was like, man, I don't know if I ever want to do music, but if I don't do it, I want you to do it. And I was like, okay, respect that. And me and Pecos really didn't talk much. We talked here and there. There was one night he called me, and I think he was doing some rodeo shit in Fort Worth. And he called me up and was like, "Hey, dude, saw you're playing at Mags. I'm coming out." And he came out as soon as I was. He came in as soon as I was going on stage, and he walked in, and I was a little buzzed, and and he walked in, and I was like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna get you to sing some songs in the Mars set," and he was like, "Don't do that." He was like, "I don't want to do that. Don't do that." I was like, "All right, man. I won't do it. I won't do it."
He's told me that before when him and Jay would come and hang out at Sweetwater. I was like, fine, I won't do it, but you did it.
And I got hammered about halfway through the show, and I kicked my whole band off the stage. I was like, "Y'all get off. I'm gonna get my buddy Pecos up here, sing a couple songs." He had no choice but to do it, and he did. He got up there, and I think he sang a Waylon Jennings cover, and then he played this damn song, and just murdered it. Like we brought, I think, like around like 120, 150 people, maybe 200. I don't know. I really can't remember. But he got up there and absolutely fucking slayed it. And he got off and was like, "Dude, thank you, man." He was pumped up.
Hell yeah.
And I was drunk. I got up there and withered my way through the rest of my set. And we hung out a little bit after he shot out to go home. And I really didn't think nothing of it. And then, Pecos puts out this damn song, blows up, like basically
immediately.
Yeah, immediately goes worldwide. And
you say immediately, but I feel like I jammed that song forever before like it was really popular.
Man, it was two like regular day-to-day artists.
It's like it came in waves.
Yeah.
Dude,
Everybody was like, "Have you heard this song?" And you didn't hear about it. And then there was like, "Oh, have you heard this song?" And like 2 years later, it was like, "I'm just now hearing this song."
But then 3 years later, it was even bigger.
It would go up, and then it'd go up again, and then it'd go up again. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I remember he like brought us on tour with. We started talking again, and I was like, "Hey, dude, let me come fucking open up." Tide's turned a little bit. You're a little bit bigger than I am, buddy. And I was like, "Hey, man, you mind if I come, open up some shows?" And he was like, "Hell yeah, dude. Would love nothing but that." And they've always, like, him and his whole camp, like top to bottom, every guy in his camp is nothing but, like, the best people.
Oh, yeah.
And they brought us out, and it was I can't remember where we were. We got really, really drunk, and we were hanging out, and me and Pecos were like, and he was like, "Man, I got to tell you something." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "That night you brought me up on stage at Magnolia, and I sang a couple songs, and I got off." He goes, "That was the night I knew I was going to do music forever." And I was like, "Shut the fuck up." I was like, "You're a fucking badass." He was like, "No, I swear." And I was like, "Man, I appreciate that, but like, the proof's in the pudding, man. This damn song was like, I just happened to catch it before anybody else did. The rest,
Right.
I caught it before the rest of the world, and I saw that potential. And he's always been super, super good to us, and he's always been a great fucking guy.
Yeah. And there's
He's still a great guy. We still go golf every now and then. He's super busy right now, so we haven't golfed in a while. But
stays busy.
yeah, he stays. That's one man that stays on the road. I'll tell you that.
He told us that last night's Lashes is all about you.
No. But a song that has something to do with Canaan though, She Says.
Yeah, She Says, man.
He's called you up on stage and you sang it with him multiple times.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, so the way that panned out, me and Pecos obviously been boys, and I had seen he'd been doing some co-writes and stuff, and I was just like, "Hey, man, like, what do you think about kind of getting together and doing some writing?" He was like, "Hell yeah, I'm down. You free in a couple days?" I was like, "I'll make it free."
Yep.
And he was still living over here in Union Valley, and I went over there, and we busted out the first song, and it was like kind of a country song.
Sick invite. I live 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
I hope to move into that house, damn it.
And we wrote a country song, and we haven't talked about it, but I could tell, like, he was like, "It's good," and I was like, "Yeah, it's good," and I was like, "Man, I got this chorus I don't know if I want to do anything with it or not. What do you think about it? And I sang it to him, and it was like, my head says who cares, my heart says you do. My body says I'm weak when she says it'll never be you. And he was like, okay, yeah, let's do that. I was like, hell yeah, all right. And he started playing the guitar part, and I was like, that's it. And then, dude, we kind of wrote both of the verses and the bridge, and I didn't think anything about it, but probably 8 months later, I see him go into a couple of record deal meetings with Columbia and Warner, and I text him every time, like, hey, man, how'd it go? Checking up on you, da-da-da-da. He's like, dude, went great, this and that. And he never told me anything about She Says. And later on, he was like, hey, man, She Says is going to be on the album. And I was like, hell yeah, that's cool shit. And I've always been a songwriter before I was ever a musician.
Right.
And so it was a cool thing to see the fact that he was going into these, and me and him even wrote together, which is really cool. And then he was just like, hey, She Says it on the album. And I was like, holy shit, that's also really cool. Thank you for putting the song on the album. And he was like, it's my favorite. And then I didn't really understand like the pull of it. Like I understood that it was going to be on the album, but he sent me a screenshot of the email, and it was them talking about a few of the songs, and they said that She Says was going to be the like star track of the album or something like that. And I texted them back and was like, Star Trek, cool, man. What's that? I ain't never done like a record deal. I've never distributed it through like a big company like that. And he was just like Warner really loved the song. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, whenever we went in with this damn song, Cabin Fever, another one, and She Says. And it was a focus track. That's what it was. And that he said, and Warner picked that song to be the focus track of the album. And I was like, what's focus track? He was like, that's like, I was like, oh yeah,
The song.
Yeah. I was like, I love that they love that song, man. That's badass. And like, it boosted me up a little bit. And I was like, Warner likes my song. And he was like, no, focus track is like the song of the album. Like, and I was like, oh shit, Warner really likes my song. Well, our song, me and Pecos' song. And man, that's really cool. Not only for the opportunity that Pecos gave me, but also to turn around and to put it on the album, and for Warner to like it as well. And man, that was a big win for songwriters. Yeah,
and I mean, not to mention the TikToks clips that I've seen, and everything of him bringing you up on stage to sing that song with him,
dude.
In front of how many people?
Dude, fucking Highway 30 was cool as shit.
Yeah, how many people were out there?
That was a shit ton.
Just a stupid amount of fucking people.
Just to see it, people, and I was like. It was almost kind of weird because, like, when it comes to festival things like that, I respect, it's like, it's not my show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not on this. This is Pecos' show. If he wants me up, he'll ask me. And he was like, hell yeah, we're doing it. And I think his nerves were going so much, he forgot to even introduce me. So I was like,
just this random guy on the microphone right there.
He was like, yeah, we're doing it. And I was like, hell yeah. And then, I think his nerves were going, and he forgot to be like, Canaan Bryce, everybody. So I was like, do I go? Do I go? Do I go?
That's how you get tackled by a bodyguard, man. Yeah. You're lucky you're big.
And, man, I ran.
What bodyguard's going to tackle that big motherfucker?
But he and I ran. I just had a gut instinct, and I ran out there just in time. He looked back at me, and I ran out there just in time. And I couldn't hear fucking shit out of the monitors, but I didn't give a shit. I was like,
just killed it.
Me and my best friend are up there. I don't give a shit.
Absolutely.
All these people are cool, but me and these motherfuckers, like, that's all I care about is being up there with my homies.
My takeaway is you effectively screwed yourself out of cutting this damn song, right?
Yeah. Well, man, so man, it was really cool because so whenever I hit him up about it, and like we kind of had a little communication, but not much. Then he got out of the military and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do music," and he was hitting me up about little stuff here and there. He was going into studio to cut this damn song, and he was asking questions left and right, and I was I guess he just kind of trusted me to be the guy to give him answers. And I gave him, the best advice I could give him. And I told him at the end of the day, man, it's your music, it's your show, it's your band. Do what you feel is right. Do what you want to do. And he just forever appreciated that. And I was
Solid ass dude.
yeah. There's a lot of people that blew me off, and I would never be that guy to blow my friends off like that. So.
Absolutely. All right, so I mean, Matt, you said you had something.
Yeah. Before we get off the Pecos train, we talked about this a little bit before the interview started, and you said that this night was actually like the beginning of your tour with him. So I just want to say, I actually met you one night. It was about 2 years ago, and you had a guitar player playing for you named Tyson, right? So I met this dude on Marketplace, right? And man, he had this amp for sale, and I just had to have that motherfucker. I had to have it. So anyways, I'm talking with him for about a week, and I'm like, okay, I want it. And he's like, okay, well, meet me at this venue called the Boxcar, right? So I drive all the way out to the Boxcar, and I'm sitting there waiting. And I wasn't sure. I was just now getting on the music scene, so I wasn't sure, what was even about to happen, right? So I see this big white van pull up and back in, and then all of a sudden, boom, the sliding door opens, 4 people jump out, and there's Tyson because he's lugging this big old, 60-pound amp.
It was massive.
So man, I'm like, oh my God, there it is, and then boom, I see this guy jump out. And he's got his acoustic.
This big goofy motherfucker?
Yeah, I see Canaan. At the time, I had no idea, bro. I had no idea that was you, right? But I see this dude jump out with his big old smile on his face, acoustic guitar in his hand. And I'm
Probably
like,
a bottle of Rumple in the other.
Yeah, so this was just when I started singing and getting on the scene. So I'm like, oh, you're about to go in there and play a show, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, we're about to go tear it up. And, dude, your energy was so unmatched, bro. I was like, you set a good example for me. Because I was like, dude. Man. That's how it should be.
And you know what's
bring
crazy?
That energy,
there's so many times I've played that bar with fucking nobody in it.
Yeah.
So that man,
there was a lot of people there that night.
Hey, he thought you were from the Bearded Viking Mead Company.
So man, he was that night it was super cool because we were about to go to because it was it cold? It was cold, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were about to go to Indiana, Illinois, North Carolina, South Carolina.
You don't say the S in Illinois.
Whatever.
This fucking guy.
Hey, I'm from Texas, man.
Fuck off.
Hey, that's all the S I need. So I was actually playing that night. It was just some acoustic show to get. It was an acoustic show to get some gas money so we can, afford to go up way fucking north. And it turned out to be a really cool. We actually got snowed out on our first night. We weren't making it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we left out that night. We after our show we packed up and we drove endlessly. We didn't get a hotel.
Right.
Until we just couldn't go anymore.
It's funny because I didn't know you. I had no idea y'all were about to go on tour, and I'm like, man, this dude's bad to the bone. He got his whole band coming with him for an acoustic show. You motherfuckers come to this acoustic show.
That's the crew, bro. That's the crew.
And the cool thing about the Boxcar, man, is that was kind of the first spot that gave me my chance to sing in front of people that ever gave a shit.
Yeah.
So I think no matter what, until I just can't anymore, until I get, if I ever get any bigger, I still have a date there. I was texting them today about a show we're playing this Friday there.
What do you mean if?
Yeah, it would. I mean, nothing's guaranteed in life, but it'd be really fucking cool if I was a lot bigger.
That's how Sweetwater is for a lot of us guys around here,
Yeah.
So I get that for sure.
And the only difference is the Boxcar is a double wide, bro.
Hell yeah.
That's a double wide they added at the back.
I got an after-hour story for Boxcar.
But yeah, man, that was really cool and really cool story. And I love the fact that I made an impact on your life because there's so many people that made an impact in my life, and no matter what I do ever in music or in life, I hope I just impact people in a positive way, and that's really cool.
Dude, sometimes it takes that one moment. Sometimes it takes just that one thing right there.
And I try and be as positive all the time. And you know, lucky you caught me on a good day, and I'm jumped out fucking smiling.
Right?
Dickhead most of the time.
Probably already drunk.
Hey, we all have. Hey, it's like that, brother.
Could have gone wrong.
Hey, we're getting close to the end of the interview, but I want to know, like, is there anybody you want to shout out? Anybody that made a huge influence on you? Is there somebody that you just absolutely love you want to say something to? Absolutely,
man. Actually, it was somebody asked me yesterday about my influence. I want to give a huge shout out to Lucero.
You got it tattooed on your arm.
Absolutely, I got that one, and I got the Texas and Tennessee on my. But I got this right here because, man, there's people that have fans, and there's bands that have cults. Lucero is one of those bands that have cults, and I'm a part of that cult, and I'm gonna ride or die till the end. And Lucero's like shaped my songwriting and music from bottom to top. And I have other influences, but that is the hands down biggest influence. And their Tennessee album absolutely saved my life. Like when I tell you music saved my life, it's not my music saved my life. Lucero's music saved my life multiple times. And cool story about Lucero. I actually got to I saw Lucero for the first time. I've always been a massive fan, and we went to Key West in Florida for the Mile Zero Fest, and it was Robert O'Keefe headlining, and Lucero was right before him. And there was like a handful of thousands of people out there, and Lucero was playing, and I was just looking around, and there was like maybe like 40 of us just headbanging the shit out of every song, because once you're a Lucero fan, you are a Lucero fan for life. And the crowd just didn't appreciate Lucero one bit, and I don't think they understood what they had in front of them. And I went back to the artist bar, and Lucero got done, and they got off stage, and Ben Nichols, the lead singer, songwriter, he writes all the stuff. I saw him at the bar, and my girlfriend at the time, we were sitting there, and I was like, oh shit, that's Ben Nichols right there. He was just waiting in line. And she was like, go talk to him. I was like, oh no. She was like, quit being a fucking pussy. Go talk to him. And I was like, okay, let's do it. You got my back? All right, let's go. And we walked up, and I just like stood behind them. I didn't say a fucking word. I was just like,
just awkward as fuck.
And he notices me.
And she was like, fucking do it. And I was like, hey, Ben. And he turned around and was like, hey, what up, man? And I was like, dude, Canaan Bryce, I'm a massive fan of you. I love your songwriting. I love your music. I love everything that Lucero is. And he was like, dude, thank you so much. And he was like, I appreciate everybody that came out tonight. I appreciate you talking to me. You want a shot of Jameson? Because he drinks Jameson. He drinks Irish whiskey.
I know someone
man's
else
hurting.
like that.
That man's hurting.
And he was like, he asked me for the shot. He was like, you want to take a shot of Jameson? And I was like, I was gonna buy you a shot. And he was like, dude, I just played, man. I'm gonna buy you a shot of Jameson. And I was like, absolutely. And I was like, I'd love that. And we took a shot together, and he was like, I was like, man, I really hope one day we get to share a stage together. That'd be really cool. And he was like, dude, hopefully one day. And we shook hands, and I never seen him again, but that was probably the biggest impact on my life ever, is to see, because they always tell you don't meet your
heroes.
Yeah, don't meet your idols, don't meet your heroes. Yeah. And I've met a few of them, and I finally met like my top guy. And he was the baddest motherfucker ever. Genuine, good heart. I couldn't say enough good things about the guy. He was nothing but humble and great, and I could do nothing but strive to be that guy.
Remind me, I got a story about him after we're done here.
I would love to hear it.
So we're about to wrap it up, but before we do, you've got new music. I think we heard some new music that you played tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did.
We did some stuff over at Melody Mountain Ranch in Stephenville, Texas. Josh Rowe is our producer. He believes in me, and we took in 5 songs and cut all 5 of them. And we're actually about to go back in next week to cut another 3. He suggested some things on a couple covers, which I won't release on this. Well,
That's fine. You ain't got to talk about it if you don't want to.
Can I? Is that
You
on?
talk about whatever the fuck you want to on this.
You home now. You family now.
The middle part of our name is Tall Tales. If it's not true, 100%. Even if it is true, we'll write it off as a tall tale. It's fine.
Yeah. So next week we go into we did Buck Buffalo's family Christmas, and we were absolutely hammered doing like some campfire sessions, and I'm pretty sure Josh is hammered as well. And,
they went on the wrong pup.
And he heard me do Teenage Dirtbag.
Dude, that cover's insane.
And he texted me a couple days later and was like, "Hey man, what do you think about doing that in studio? We'll do it and release it."
Real dope.
Yeah. So next week we're doing Teenage Dirtbag, and we're also doing our version of Hurricane, which is really cool. Yeah. And
dude, that version y'all did on Friday.
Hey, Braden killed it. But yeah,
he called Braden back up on stage after his set was almost over, and they did Hurricane together by Band of Heathens. Holy shit!
It was fun, man. Hell yeah! And Braden killed it.
Sorry, I keep getting off.
No, you're good. You're good. So
new music.
Yeah. So the new music, we're actually releasing. I'm hoping by next month, we're gonna have everything ready to release a song called $27.
You get $27 your name right now. Is right here in the Whiskey Locker with us.
Rumor has it might come out on True Tall Tales and Whiskey.
It might.
We're doing an acoustic cut of it. Help you promote.
But yeah, man, I was super broke and I had like $26 and some change in my account, and I just kind of rounded up and wrote the song.
Damn, you rounded up. You was more broke than what the song cover was.
I know. And other than that, man, we got 4 other songs coming out, and it's gonna be a mixture of Texas rock and roll, alternative rock, and just downright punk rock, pop punk.
Hell yeah!
So we're trying to genre bend a little bit, and yeah, that's super cool.
Sweet, man.
That's the new music, and also, I haven't announced it yet on TikTok, but I plan on doing it in the next few days. But
exclusive.
we got a call a couple weeks ago, and my booking agent. She never calls me like when the sun goes down.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So she never calls me when the sun goes down. And I was like sitting there cooking. I was cutting up some bell peppers, and she calls me and goes, "Hey, you busy?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And she goes, "I got a show opportunity if you got a second." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm free." And she goes, "You know a guy named Scott Stapp?" and I was like, and I looked at my roommate, and he goes, "Creed?"
This goofy motherfucker right here?
Yeah. And he goes, "Creed?" And I go, "Are you talking about like Scott Stapp from Creed, right?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I was like, yeah, I know him. She goes, "You want to open up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to fucking open up. I'll check my schedule, but yeah. I want to do that."
Fuck that schedule. You opening for Creed?
That or Nickelback.
the best is the best halftime performance ever in history. And then next
just drop details.
Yeah, that next week we got the contract, and I didn't hear who else was with us. So in my mind, I was like, "Shit, I'm opening up for Scott Stapp." And then I look on it, and it says Scott Stapp headline, direct Canaan Bryce direct support for Tonic, and I was like, "Hold on, like Tonic?" And I texted her and was like, "Is this like the Tonic? Like, if you could only see?" And she was like, "Yeah, no, that Tonic." And I was like, my whole childhood just came to life.
She's like nonchalant about it, and you're like freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. Like in a week and a half, like my childhood just bloomed, and I was like, no shit. So,
well, the last thing I'll say is when you mentioned doing a cover, I think we were all hoping it was going to be Creed's Higher.
I wish. There's no, but like whenever I do covers, I always strive to be better than the original, and I really hope I do that for Hurricane, and I really hope I do that for the Weedest Tune. I will.
Dude, your Teenage Dirtbag cover is insane.
I will never touch a Creed song ever. There's no one gonna outdo Scott Stapp. Period. Point blank. And anybody that thinks, sit down, be quiet.
I can appreciate that. Well, I feel like on that note, we can wrap it up right there. That seems like a good place to wrap it up. Well, Canaan, thank you for being on the podcast.
Hey, that's my line.
I know it. I took it.
Take over our booking. Now you're taking my outro? Come on now.
Wait till you see the picture I got. He's standing in your place. I can't.
All right, everybody, quit talking shit now.
Dude, thank y'all for the opportunity to come out here in the middle of the fucking woods.
It was cool. Canaan, you my fucking boy.
Yeah, man, dude. Thank y'all so much. This is cool. I love music, but I also love talking music with people that love music. So
hell yeah.
Thank God for having us out.
You're welcome anytime, man.
Absolutely.
Not anytime. He drinks a little too much sometimes for the rest of us. But
you want Corey's job, just say that.
All right, everybody shut the fuck up. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of True Tall Tales and Whiskey.
Yeah, I'm drunk. I don't wanna be alone. It's never been a two-way street from your side of the phone. It tears me apart, knowing that you're gone. I've never been safe from myself, and now you're moving on. I've got $27 to my goddamn name. I spend it on anything other than the bills I got to pay. I've said it before, I say it again, rock bottom's a long way down, but you won't ever see me breaking down. I guess you're right, I've always been weak. My mind eats away at itself until I fall asleep. Nothing ever helps, it's never-ending haul. I'm counting down the reasons why I shouldn't go end it all. I've got $27 to my goddamn name. I spend it on anything other than the bills I got to pay. I've said it before, I say it again, rock bottom's a long way down, but you won't ever see me breaking down. I'm breaking down every time I'm missing you, lonely. Nights on the floor, so drunk that I can't see. Chest is so tight, I've been choking, falling apart, losing sleep, and I only got $27 to my goddamn name. I spend on anything other than the bills I got to pay. Yeah, I said it before, I say it again, rock bottom's a long way down, but you won't ever see me breaking down. Yeah, you won't ever see me breaking down. I'm breaking down. Yeah, I'm breaking down.